Good evening. Welcome to the Monday, October 23rd, 2023 public board meeting of the Kingston City Land Bank. My name is Mike. I serve as the executive director. We ask that all members of the public limit their comments to no more than 2 minutes per speaker. And with that, I turn it over to the board chair, Mr. Daniel Cantor.
Hi, Michael Gilliard. Hello and welcome, everybody. We will start with a quick roll call. My name is Daniel Cantor, board chair.
Aaron Jolowich, treasurer.
Nate Hennigan, vice chair. Project Sarah.
Sean Dorman.
Rebecca, could you announce your presence for this exciting part?
I can. Hi, it's Rebecca Holderness.
Thank you. We have quorum. Thanks everyone for coming. Can we real quick vote to accept prior meeting minutes as uploaded to YouTube?
Motion to accept prior meeting minutes. Seconded.
All in favor of accepting prior meeting minutes as uploaded to YouTube? Rebecca, is that a vote in the affirmative? Great. And now I will entertain a motion to approve this meeting's fine agenda authored by our trusty executive director.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor of approving this meeting's agenda. Rebecca, how do you vote?
To do what? Yes, I vote yes on everything.
It's just to approve the meeting agenda for the meeting we're about to have.
I'd love to, yeah.
Thank you. All right, some quick announcements. The first of which I think I might get this wrong, but I believe resolution 172 that sort of kicked off this whole experiment was passed, I think, October 8th. No, it was in October of 2018, which means that this is 5 years of land bank. So congratulations, everybody. We're still here, we've done stuff, it's very cool. Speaking of stuff that we've done, we have 3 affordable homes for sale right now, as everybody here knows. 169 Hurley, 124 Franklin, and 29 Rogers Street. 2 of them are 3-bedroom homes, 1 is a 4-bedroom. They are all exceptionally beautiful. Tours will be posted this week. We've hit a slight tech issue with our registration form, so Mike will talk more about it, but I guess.
I think if I could,
Yes.
fixed by the end of the day tomorrow.
Fixed by the end of the day tomorrow, so if folks have registered but have not heard back, maybe check in.
We'll have to figure out what the solution is.
We will figure out a solution.
Yeah.
And we're very sorry.
Do we know if anybody filled it out? Because it's not enough. Okay.
We're working on it.
Yes.
Our tech department is hard at work. Literally, I have no right to look and see what happened where.
Tear off your flannel. Apple store.
Pocket protector.
Okay. So tomorrow evening, 6 p.m., there is a public info session on those sales, and applications are currently due by November 8th. So spread the word far and wide. We have lots of sales and marketing activities happening. I believe direct mailers are in the works.
Just paid the bill today.
Just
so
paid the bills today.
should be coming out within a few days.
Very cool. So check your mailboxes, letter slots. We have lots and lots of flyers for board members or non-board members alike to distribute at will. We have visited churches, we have walked neighborhoods, we have buses wrapped with our stuff. I've seen one.
We're on the radio.
We're on the radio. I believe we're doing some sponsored or like promoted posts on social media.
Very cool.
And so things are proceeding there. 111 Down Street is an as-is property that is currently listed on the open market. That listing is still active, and so we look forward to meeting the exact wonderful person that's gonna fix up that house. Pre-development activities are continuing on Third Avenue as well as for the next round of Legacy Cities houses. As well, construction at Rogers, Franklin, and Hurley continues. Franklin and Hurley are basically done and look really, really nice. I'm sure Owen will have updates on all of that. And due to everybody's very hard work, we got to have a closing in this past month. So 237 East Union is sold. It is no longer ours. And just huge congratulations to the family. We've heard a little bit from them. They're very happy. They love the house.
They moved in?
They've moved in.
That's
From the
great.
closing table.
Oh, wow, that's so good.
If you'd like to see some comments, check our Instagram. They participate. It's really lovely.
Oh, that's great.
So we will give you a month and then we will ask you to join our board. In addition, things are moving along with the sales process at German. I don't believe we have a closing date yet, but
We do
we
not.
are in the right stage of the process. It's all moving along. Otherwise, I think I just have that we are aware that judicial action has commenced on 20 Stefan, 20 Abbey, and various other properties that we expect to acquire or that we may acquire. The fair valuation. So we're not, I guess this is basically the first time the city has undertaken this, like, we're not super clear on the timeline and process, but we do feel pretty confident that we can get Stefan and Abby into the Legacy Cities 2 tranche of rehabs. So that's good. Thank you, Mr. Director.
You're not clear, you're the one that's supposed to be clear, and next steps and time.
No. I think for me, there's nothing major. Now, we have a public comments period. I see no members of the public present. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, no one's here. Mike,
Now we go through me rehashing what you just said.
sorry.
No,
We
it's,
should go first.
I'm aiding it, I'm doing a poor impression of it. Thank you, good evening. As always, I try to keep this discussion in 3 or 4 main buckets, being our pipeline, which are properties that we are anticipating closing on and doing something with, pre-development, which we have closed or we've committed to move forward with development of, property sales, which hopefully is kind of self-explanatory, and pending new funding opportunities, and then other where I just throw stuff in that I think of giving spiel. Pipeline remains at 8 properties, same as last month. As Daniel mentioned, we're hoping for Abby to go through. This is resolution 66 of 2023, if you want to be very technical, but this is the authorization for us to purchase Abby. So that is under the disposition policy. That's what we're moving forward with. At second, thank you to the City of Kingston for moving forward with this process, specifically the license agreement for Murray and Abby. So we have that. So that's underway. 5 vacant lots that we're also seeking to potentially acquire under this include Keller, Henrietta, O'Reilly, Belmont, and Third. Third, you may recall, is the lot that the Kingston Land Trust has expressed an interest in. So they are planning their activities around the timeline, as Daniel mentioned, for when we could acquire. O'Reilly is the next door neighbor who's seeking to expand their property, similarly keeping her in the loop, and the others we are working on a plan for, depending on the timeline. Yes, so the judicial action commenced on the 19th this month. If anybody wants to write the date down, track it, because I'll do that. But, okay, 20 Stefan. We've been awarded, I think everyone knows that, but I think that was an update from last month. So the license agreement is also executed. Thank you, City of Kingston, for that. So we have that, the ability to do work on the site, and our insurance is in place. Thank you, Stacy, for that. That was a little bit of a, just making sure it was right, but we got it right. No new foreclosures to the best of my knowledge, although I have a YouTube video to watch after this for the Laws and Rules Committee earlier this week that seems to be discussing foreclosures. It's one of their, I think this is all, they left it in the room, so. I mean, that's not fortuitous. I don't know what else. So maybe news to some of us, maybe news to all of us. So that could have some updates next month. NCST, I think you know what I'm going to say, but there's a little update, no properties this month. However, the New York Land Bank Association has decided to re-engage with them because they have a new president. And so I don't know what comes of that, but I think everyone has recognized that this is the way that land banks need to get more properties if they can. So I don't know what that means for us, certainly because the process is the process, but maybe something will come of that and I'll give you an update. Pre-development, 7 properties, same as last month. Gilgrand Hasbrook Chapel, maybe Abby and Stefan, architecture updates, and a very minor building security update from Owen, ADC, and the design committee. Thank you both, Daniel and Owen, for all the work you're putting into this, move this thing forward. It's really exciting that we've got this machine that can do this with these houses. We just need more houses, but and machine, yeah, right, right. We need a lot of things, but it's all going well, and I think we're executing this better than we ever have before. Third Avenue. Probably some more updates at ADC, but I will say that we have conducted test pits on the site, digging down, backhoe, and neighbors coming out and asking what we're doing, and us just sort of waving because we're just testing. We've done fire hydrant tests on both sides of the site to kind of give the civil engineers a sense of what the water situation looks like there for potable water. The first work product from the civil engineer will be delivered in November, and more updates from ADC. Property sales, as Daniel mentioned, we have closed on our first sort of, I would say, out of the pilot normal land of affordable housing production, affordable homeownership. So we had our first sale. Included in your board package is our awesome first ever homeownership manual. Rebecca, I think you'd asked for that last month, so that's in there for everybody. But it's a really good tool. The homeowners super greatly appreciated it. It's incredibly detailed. It shows everything that someone might look for being a first-time homeowner, and warranties and manuals. It's extensive, so Owen, thank you for that. And I would just like to highlight that we have also earned our first ever developer fee. So as an organization, we've done the thing. We've split that with our media review partner, which was the intent of the Legacy Cities program. So he's very excited to have that come his way. And huge shout out to everyone, but I'd really just like to say that the team of those of us who are paid to work at the land bank is really functioning really, really well. We have a really good system for paying things and checks and balances and all this stuff. So a huge shout out to Owen and Kyle and Stacy. So thank you for that. That's more to come. Have more sales soon, but you guys are doing a great job. Okay, so German, just some slight updates. Other than what Daniel had said, we don't have a closing date. So the loan officer is unfortunately on vacation, and the person who stepped in for him is catching up today. So I'm hoping tomorrow the documents will be circulated that we can start to set a closing date. I'll let everyone know if anyone's interested when we have that, but I expect by the next meeting we will close. More discussion probably in comms about the Legacy Cities 2 marketing campaign, sales and marketing campaign. I will highlight that there's a potential new grant and mortgage program from HCR that's lower interest rate. And it comes with a big grant for down payment and closing cost assistance. There's some qualifications that lenders have to agree to abide by. And so I'm told that 7 lenders have agreed to abide by it. And I'm pushing that they come to our meeting tomorrow night so that they can, the lenders' representatives, so that they can talk about this product, because we certainly can't. We can't connect people, the lenders have to do their thing. But that's a really awesome tool for this campaign. Rebecca and I did some great flyering, starting in downtown, making our way to Midtown. Thank you for that, Rebecca. That was awesome. I had a great time. Learned a lot about people skills that I don't have from here, so that was greatly appreciated. And Aaron and I went to church. Thank you for that. That was, I mean, just how did you think it went?
It went great.
Yeah.
Mike speaks Spanish. Everyone applauded.
Oh my God.
It was great. They were very great.
Yeah.
And the second one went very well as well.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. I went over to Iglesia de Dios, I think, on Broadway.
Yeah.
And very different styles of approach, I think, in terms of the pastor's approach, but went in a smaller room, but he zeroed in on me and walked me up to the front right away, and I was like, hola. But it went really well. They did simultaneous translation. They understand that we have a website in English and Spanish. We have a big meeting tomorrow night in English and Spanish that we have November 8th is the date currently. So that's where we're at. Yeah, that went really well. Wanted to say that Ethel is an unstoppable force. She can't make it tonight, but she still is an unstoppable force. She's going out again on Sunday. She's been going every weekend. So thank you, Ethel, if you ever watch this. But if there's anything I can do, I'm saving a stack of flyers because she texted me to have more flyers. So I'm putting those in front of the clerk's desk, but I noticed that they were all gone. So either somebody took them all, or maybe somebody thinks they shouldn't be there. I don't know.
They probably, someone took them, or people took them,
Okay, that's great.
because no one, once you put something there, it doesn't. You put more though.
I could put more, depending on how many people take. I was
Okay,
gonna-
yeah, I mean, I watch it, so.
Okay, I'm gonna leave a stack for her, but I don't know how to make sure nobody else takes it. Could I leave it with you, actually?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. Cool. So potential new funding opportunities. We have at least $4.075 million that we could be going after, that we are going after, considering going after. That's down from $4.2 million last month because we were funded. And there's some crossover there because there's new money opportunities that came in this month. So I think at finance, maybe, talk through, if you like, some of the successes about money coming in, which is a big thing. Just to run through them real quickly, it's still the Mid-Hudson Momentum Fund, minimum award of $2.5 million. ESD had recommended we get a little further on in this process. So the next timeline to apply, I believe, is 10/28, and I don't know if we're there yet. So we might apply for the next quarter. Just we have to get the civil engineering done, we have to figure out what that means. We all have to think about what we want to do, and then I think we should really strongly consider applying for it. The ARPA, $1.1 million contract with us as a subrecipient. The City of Kingston is meeting with HCR next week to discuss one of the open items, of which there are very few. And we'll have some updates following that. This is around the city's proposed points-based preference policy, sort of how that works with fair housing from the state's point of view. LBI, exciting updates of finance. Thank you, Stacy. That's all I have to say about that. City of Kingston ARPA nonprofit contract, or grant rather, we're in contract. We have yet to submit for that funding because we haven't accrued the expenses to ask for the money, but we're all squared away on that. Everything's in place, contract's executed. Novo, I said last time, I thought we would have an update for this meeting, so I think it's appropriate to announce that Novo has funded $350,000 for the operating expenses of the organization next year. That should be funded in December, is what they told us. I've submitted the funding application on time, so we should hear back in December. We found two new things this month that could be funding opportunities. One of them I heard about on Radio Kingston. It's called the Climate Action Grant. So if you hear ads running, it's for nonprofits to retrofit buildings with energy efficiency items in mind. It's not clear if that means that they have to own the building and it has to be their office, or if it's maybe like a Legacy Cities thing. So Kyle and I will run that down and figure it out. I believe, Kyle, it's $100,000 was the award. In my mind, that's the number that I wrote down.
Yes, that's right. $100,000 grant.
Cool. And then the other thing we're thinking about is CDBG dollars. So the city has put together its new group and they're figuring out, that group will make the decision and we can apply. And so that could be another thing. That's due on, the climate action is due on 11/21 and CDBG is due 12/4. So updates next time.
Is that the Office of Economic and Community Development?
It is. Yep. And then I think there's a little bit of confusion there because I think they've said that we can't get it. But the fact that we're getting ARPA money means because the city can't give us money was sort of the nature of the statement. But I think the ARPA money conflicts with that. So Brian doesn't think that there's a problem. I think it's a good recommendation to just apply and see what happens. Cool. Pathway 3 updates. I think ADC had some updates. We'll talk about that. These are just things in my pea brain to kick out there. ABO reporting in November, so I'm going to work on that and bring Stacy into the chaos that is the comptroller's website. It takes weeks to log in, but I'll show you what I do. I think it's very simple for this reporting. It's all fairly straightforward, but they're due in November, so We're probably talking Wednesday, I'll show you within it. We'll talk tomorrow, thank you. I don't know what day it is. I work going on Sunday, these things, I'm like, I'm out. Other interesting news, there's a potential new public meeting space that we could use that's right next to Radio Kingston on Franklin. They gave a tour when I went in to record the ad. It's a really cool space. It's got like breakout rooms and childcare rooms and a kitchen, and it's really, really nice. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I know Rebecca and I were trying to meet with Radio Kingston today. They did not come through, so we are rescheduling. We're gonna get there. We're gonna go in and talk to them about like what Rebecca had mentioned for maybe ongoing community, like what's going on, here's what we're doing type of things. It's a cool space for it, and it's in Midtown, and they offered it to us, so we'll see. Yeah, exactly.
Here's the price.
I know.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Field trip.
I walked into the radio station for the first time and there was so much free food. I just wanted to start. I was like, why do you have so much light and free food? Like, what is this? And then the last thing I would say is maybe if everybody is interested, we could try to do, while the weather's nice, before the end of the campaign, like a board staff flyering day. Just something where we all get together and do something. I can print more of these. This is all that we have left, but I can also. That was it. Thank you.
Can you just repeat that last one?
Oh, the board and staff flyering day would be just something I wanted to throw out there. I could try to doodle poll. We could
Stack it on top of landscaping day.
on Saturday. That would be cool. Yes, we could do that. Well, for discussion,
I'm just thinking. It's a.
I'd be down if weather holds. Yeah. I mean, Rebecca and I got as far, as the YMCA, and then I didn't go to the YMCA. I was supposed to. She said, go to the Y, and I turned my car around. So like, if we start at the Y and go that way, we're at least moving in the same direction.
Where, towards Rhonda
Towards uptown.
Or we start at Franklin and work downtown.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is the November 8th date to have completed your application or to have made an inquiry?
I mean, it's actually just to fill out the registration form. The language gets so specific. It's just do the thing on our website by November 8th. And then pass another thing called an application at that date. I think, Kyle, we were going to announce last night that we hope people to get that in by a date. And I think it was, you tell me, I can't remember.
The Pathstone deadline is December 8th,
December, oh, it was a month.
a month later. Yeah.
Thanks, John.
But between now and November 8th is Halloween. So I don't know what the Halloween trick or treating thing is in Kingston, but if you have neighborhoods that trick or treat, it might be good to have some flyers.
My neighborhood goes, nothing in my neighborhood now.
Totally.
Roosevelt Park, takes off Broadway, off Albany. I didn't know that I've been there and
It's really wild. I didn't know this.
I didn't mean to cause chaos. I'm just saying it's sometimes people are out a lot and walking around, parents with their children, and it might be a good time to have some flyers if you're going to hand out candy. So
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, I was trying to figure out if there was a moment where we could set up anywhere in Kingston where we could set up a table like at the farmer's market, but the farmer's market is too small and twee and not really the right place. So it doesn't seem to me that there's any community gathering event in Kingston between now and a deadline. So, but I do think it would be nice to be able to, the effective thing, I guess, Mike, I thought we did was actually talk to people when we handed them the flyers, right? So.
Yeah, that was, but you could see the interest just in taking a couple minutes to really like connect the work with their work and talk to them. That's what I learned from you. I would have just walked in and thrown a flyer and run away.
That's the key, like you have to explain what it is, because even if they just see one word, like there's very fine print, it says something about cash at the bottom, cash offers. Someone saw that, I was like, oh, if it's only cash offers, I can't, and I'm like, no. You know, like, it just doesn't, honestly, the tiniest little prints under the picture
Yeah.
show the same, so like, a key is just being there to just like, to pull people in.
I mean,
Right.
I would hope that once we get past this November 8th, maybe in the comms meeting or at some other time, we could talk about a kind of long look at how we communicate what we're doing and to, you know, like how do we build a repository of knowledge within the community before we have to sell a house, right? Like, so, you know, or before we're offering a house. So whether there's other ways to do that, that we haven't done it. And it may be that there aren't, but it's worth thinking about, I guess. Also, I have a short question, which is whether you're going to do the information session on video like from here, or what is the structure that you're going to do tomorrow? Or we can deal with that later, but I have some audio issues, so.
Oh, okay. It's via Zoom. We'll just be, Kyle and I will be at home respectively, not together.
Okay,
And
then,
so be remote as well.
okay, because the audio, I don't know how you get it, Kyle, but the audio that I get from this room is extremely hard to understand, especially if you're all talking at the same time.
Yeah, it's not great, but I think it's audible. But we'll be doing the presentation tomorrow from our own.
Oh, great. I just
Desktops.
didn't, great. I just don't want anyone to be pushed out of the presentation tomorrow because they can't understand what's being said.
Thank you for that. I didn't know. I've never joined a meeting remotely.
It's hard.
Yeah. I don't rewatch them. I need to. Unless I have to. That was it.
That's it for you? All right. Committee report time. Wanna dive in on ATC?
Sure. I mean, I guess to start ADC, I'm gonna pass it off to our esteemed staff, Owen and Kyle, to update us on Legacy Cities 1 and Franklin, the last pilot project, and then architectural stuff as well. So why don't we start with Legacy Cities 1 and go through each of your updates? I don't know which one of you wants to go first.
I'll go first. Okay, Legacy City 1. Well, as you know, we got one property sold, two are basically done. German Street is just sitting around, waiting to be bought, and Hurley, we have final inspection done, but we are taking care of some punch list items, wrapping up a couple things, but that house is nearly complete, and so we're down to the one house that's really under construction. Oh, all right.
I mean, do you want to do it?
This is fine.
Yeah.
So I showed this to a lot of you at ADC a couple days ago, but basically we're drawing heavily against the contingency, but not running out completely. And for most of these houses, it's sort of a neutral issue at this point because they're basically completed. So Rogers is the one that we're trying to really land. So I guess I'll direct your attention to this amount of contingency left after work and contract and projected. That takes into consideration some things that are not necessarily in change order, signed change orders yet, but have come up or being discussed. So it just gives us the most accurate picture where we are with contingency. I explained this to ADC a couple days ago, but just for kind of presentation purposes of where this orange start date is for Rogers, I adjusted it because it had this January start date on there because that is what our original construction schedule said, but it's not really reflective of how work is being deployed on that site. Work was done, prior to June in that site, but it's these 6 or 7 months that are the real when work is really focused on that site. So I thought it gave a better representation of where things are at with progress in the site, which is behind, but not behind in a way that's cause for concern. And the remedy or the way in which our organization can help with the timeline and catching it back up is just trying to identify and eliminate issues that would hold up construction, and that's what we're doing. I don't have anything else to say on Legacy 1.
Franklin, okay?
Is that all right, Aaron, if I go on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, quick story on Franklin is that it's construction completion date is supposed to be middle of January, and we don't have final inspection yet, but we're very close to that. So we're wrapping up probably by the end of November, and so that's well ahead of schedule, and all good on budget as well for that project. So that will be good. Should be hopefully. I'll be telling you we have a CFO next meeting or the meeting after.
All right. Kyle?
I'll just jump in with the financing update on Legacy Cities 1. Let's see here. Cool. Yeah, this basically echoes a lot of what Owen was saying. A couple things to note here. Union was sold.
Sorry. Maybe it's just me. That's good for me.
Better?
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, so Union was sold. German was almost sold. So with that, our developer fee is starting to get paid down. This HCR B piece line item for Union and German represents that developer fee. The developer fee for German, it was funded, but it's currently being held in reserve until we complete that sale. So German and Union are essentially wrapped up from a financing standpoint. These balances here, those represent some project savings and also some ongoing costs that extend beyond the sales, just interest reserve items that were allocated to these projects. But yeah, we expect these numbers to be drawn down on, but there might be some savings there. But yeah, everything appears to be more or less on schedule. And as you see, as Owen was saying, the bulk of the remaining work is at Rogers, where we have about $440,000 more to do there. But yeah, from a financing standpoint, everything's looking good. Yeah.
Great, cool. So I think next on our list is Legacy Cities 2 architectural progress. I think Owen, is this you as well?
Sure. Yeah. So we've got houses in pretty different stages of pre-construction planning. So that ranges from, we have some houses that we own and we have electric service to the house, and we've got asbestos testing done. And we have some houses that we're doing pre-construction planning for, but we don't own yet. We don't have surveys for. So we've got a bit of a wide range because we've been adding houses into the project, and then we've got these two houses that we, as you know, don't own yet. We just got existing measurements done on Stefan, which is the last one to have that done. All the other houses have schematic floor plans completed, and we're still on track for this late January completion of the construction documents for hopefully all 6 of those houses. And while those will kind of come together, we'll continue to be catching up these straggler houses with testing and abatement so that they're kind of ready to go when we're ready for construction.
Thank you, Bill.
Sure.
Not to, I mean, feel free to discuss if you have anything. If not, I'll just keep going. I know. The next one was 3rd Avenue progress, which Mike already mentioned. There was test pits done, and
I guess I'll let Kyle say the rest, then,
Yeah, I mean, Mike covered most of what's going on there. Yeah. Yeah, November 3rd is when we expect to hear back from the engineers, and then we can provide more updates based on their feedback.
So is the idea the engineers report back November 3rd? There's like another round of conversations with the architect based on their reports, with the planning firms, the architect, and then maybe December board meeting, we talk about it
I
again.
think, yeah, that kind of feels right.
Yeah.
December board meeting's early on December 10th.
It's
So,
Christmas.
but we can try to,
No, if it needs to be pushed back a month, luckily we're
we'll
not.
definitely have updates by December's board meeting on substantive updates.
Okay, great. So lastly, the last thing on ABC is 111 Downs, which I think probably we should go into executive session.
If you like, yeah.
I think just,
Things have changed since the agenda was circulated,
yeah,
so.
I think that's cool. If people don't mind talking about, originally Mike had written on the agenda, non-specific, but I think just earlier today, the broker circulated the 3 proposals we have. And so in order to discuss those proposals and discuss the path forward, we'd like to go to executive session, obviously,
Yep.
because it's sensitive information.
Can we do?
Motion to enter executive session.
Second,
This is the discussing the disposition of 111 Downs.
All in favor?
All right, so we're gonna stop. Welcome back, everyone. So, per discussion in executive session, I would like to entertain a motion to authorize the acquisition, disposition, and construction committee of the Kingston City Land Bank Board to potentially enter into contract on the sale of 111 Downs prior to our next scheduled board meeting.
Second. Motion.
You're not here.
Motion to authorize.
I don't think you gotta repeat the whole.
Okay, to potentially to vote on the decision for 111 Downs prior to our next board meeting.
Yes.
Seconded.
All in favor of that? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Everyone will be in the loop no matter what. Sounds great.
So I'm gonna move on now, we go to finance and audit. I'm gonna share my screen when we go through the audit treasurer's reports that Stacy put together, that I pretend that I know better than I do. To start though, we now have what's called a sweep account, which is essentially this type of account where it's kind of amazing. Every night they empty our bank account and invest it in secure, like very secure overnight treasuries and not treasuries, no treasuries overnight, but overnight, what is it, overnight something. They put it in secure facilities, so it's not at risk, and then comes back into the account in the morning.
With the interest piece.
With the interest piece, and so we are making a pretty good amount of interest, and it comes back into FDIC insured accounts, right?
Yes.
It's distributed across $250,000. No, that was just the account that I talked about. Oh, never mind. So it's not. Ignore that. But comes back into the account in the morning, and we are already making good interest on the account. It is not as risky as it sounds. It is a very normal type of account. We make hundreds of dollars every day in interest, or every week in interest.
$75.
$75 a day in interest.
Instead of 8 cents every 7 weeks.
And
How much money do I need to get this deal?
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
about the profit.
I have $47.
I don't think it is M&T. You should contact M&T. Or,
because they're no
but there's a certain fee you have to pay, so there's a certain point where.
it becomes worthwhile.
Yeah.
I think for most of us, we don't have that.
But we also have Rhonda, which we have a nice
Yeah.
ratings also, so that's I'm just saying Rhonda's a good place to go.
Like CD.
Yeah.
So,
So we're carrying costs on down to paper.
yeah,
That's the magic happen.
so I'm gonna quickly share my screen now and we'll go through.
This stuff. So let's start with the land bank itself, and then we'll go into the legacy cities. So on the balance sheet, where to start? In September, there was a large requisition for Franklin, which you can see down here. So the value of Franklin, the asset value of Franklin increased significantly in September. There was some smaller work at Hasbrook. Electrical service was upgraded at Hasbrook, and then also at Chapel. So you'll see that Chapel is that the next page. There it is. Chapel went up in value, and that was so that pre-development activities could continue. There's now a new category, Third Avenue project. Which includes essentially to date, I mean, it's already our largest asset, but it includes to date essentially the acquisition costs of the four parcels, I guess, really, it's four of them, plus the design and engineering firms that have been paid, the portions that have been paid to date. Stacy bundled it as one project as opposed to different addresses because that's how we're paying for it, and because that's ultimately the actual lines of the lots will change. So this is just a way to think about kind of everything we own on Third Avenue as being kind of one project. So you'll see that now. And then website design, you'll see that we've now paid $8,000 of the $12,000 because that is in progress. It will be done later this fall. So sometime after the campaign ends, we will formally move over to the new website. That is essentially everything on the balance sheet that we need to talk about. Does anybody have any questions looking this over? I think that was it. Yeah, okay. So on the P&L, for the land bank, this is, sorry, it's a little bit, you'll see, it's hard to make it so you can see everything. You'll see at the top here, grant income, $100,000. So this is the final payment of the legacy city, of the land bank initiative, phase 1, year 1. Grant. There's also going to be year 2, then there's Legacy Cities Initiative 2, so there's many versions of this. This is another $100,000 of working capital that we have that we're going to use for pre-development activities on various projects. Particularly on, it's mostly going to be Third Avenue.
No, we're actually using that specific for program.
For program costs.
Yeah, that's program, because the LBI 2.
That's.
I know, that's what it's
That's what
gonna be, it's gonna be for.
Okay, so program costs. Fine, then we paid our auditor, which now, where is that here? My computer just froze. There we go, now it's not. Here it is. It's in accounting and audit fees. We pay the auditor the last amount of what they're owed, $1,850, for the auditor statement that we discussed at our last board meeting. And I think that is mostly it in terms of new things of import. Some other small expenses down below. Anything else that jumps out to people that they want to discuss? All right. Great. So then let's go to the KCLB. So the balance sheet here, construction on here is progressing. The Hurley and Rogers, the numbers have gone up significantly in terms of their asset values. And accounts payable, where's the accounts payable? Oh, the accounts payable down here, that amount is the is requisition 12 that was completed in September and paid in October, according to Stacy. So that is what the 81,000 is. And then insurance premiums, where is that here? Oh, that's not going to be on the balance sheet, it's on the P&L. So on the P&L, you'll see insurance premiums, here, this represents money loans, no, this is, am I
Well, we borrowed the money from.
from the main end,
Yeah.
from the parent.
To pay for this.
Gotcha.
Like the expense.
And then it will be reimbursed to the parent.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. For our insurance premiums.
That represents a whole year.
Of insurance premiums,
Yeah.
for these properties. Gotcha, for GL, okay. And so that is it. Any questions about any of them?
On the balance sheet, the,
Which one?
sorry, the LLC balance sheet, the like 12,000 due to KCLB, what is that?
Oh,
It's,
that's the insurance it's,
Oh,
so,
that's the insurance that you paid back.
we paid back.
so we have a timing thing that happens with the, is that okay?
Yeah, please.
The timing thing happens with, the recs don't get reimbursed very frequently. So sometimes things are needed to be paid ASAP. We don't have any money in the LLC right now. So we have to do it. I'm just looking it out that it gets.
Got it.
No questions. Motion to accept the treasurer's report.
All in favor of accepting that wonderful treasurer's report? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Comms.
It's not me this time. I would gratefully.
We did meet last week and we discussed 3 items. First, we discussed the potential partnership opportunity with RBW Lighting based in Ulster. So we talked about a few ideas. My next step for that falls on my court to send something, present directly to Mike. And then we'll see where that needs to go based on that. I do want to get back to them this week.
Sure.
We discussed the current marketing campaign and the additional activities that needed to happen, some of which have happened already, the banners, direct mailer, paid ads, and then resending Eileen's email, resending that to our application form. And then finally, we discussed the website, and my strong desire to move off of the current website. So we talked about that a little bit, and making sure that it was clear what was happening to that. Maybe, I don't know, we talked about, your name was mentioned?
Yes.
Okay, all right, maybe you have some more information.
On the website, yeah, I owe Katie Dwyer a lot more stuff than I thought I owed her.
Should we give us a dressing down?
Yeah, she definitely needed the dressing down.
That's important.
No, it was totally fair too, because I was really slow in getting back to her. I just got caught up with a lot of stuff. I didn't realize the extent to which she needed us to fill in information on some of the other pages. Like I knew we were gonna be redoing some of the like slogan and mission statement, and I thought most of the other pages were just pulling existing information and reformatting it. And it seems like there's more than that.
Okay, do you feel like you need help?
Not yet.
Okay, all right.
But I will
Figure out
follow up.
others.
Yeah, if you do, let us
I
know.
think it might be something that we like open up to people to be like, can you just like take a blurb here?
Yeah.
Because it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot more than I thought we needed to do. So maybe we have a design committee meeting this week that maybe we'll go through and like split it up. But if people are volunteering to help, then we will happily
I can help us
enlist that help.
if you feel like you need help. So. Okay, and that is it for comments.
There's one update I gave you.
Oh, yes, you give that update.
I mean, I wanted, thank you, Mr. Collins.
I forgot the update that you just gave, so why?
As designated by the Conference Chair, I have an update to my earlier statement that we're trying to get the state of New York to come to the meeting tomorrow. The president of Sunny May is coming with 2 loan officers, so she just confirmed that's why I was taking point. So that's really good news. They're talking about the new mortgage product, slower interest rate, has some qualifications that people have to meet, and a big grant, so.
And is there a way, like, do you have to register to get a Zoom?
That's what they asked me too. I believe because of the way I set it up in Zoom, you can only get the invite by registering. I can't send it direct. There's no direct link that I can see. I was also typing furiously trying
So
to
you
figure it out.
register by just doing this code?
To the code, go in, type in, it says click here to register. It takes you to a Zoom thing, your name, your email address, click register, and then you receive, I think it's a unique link for each person, because then I get an email that says this person with this email address is registered. I think that's why they set it up that way.
Do you have any sense of how many?
A lot more than ever, seriously. It may be up to 35 or so, which doesn't sound like a lot.
No, it's great.
We've had, 2,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's gonna be great.
Good. Okay. Franklin Planting Day, did you mention?
Yes, Saturday, 9:30. I have the plants, I have the mulch. Mike brought the cardboard already.
One piece so far.
One
Oh,
piece.
I have.
I sent you.
Okay,
Oh, yes, and yes.
You want them all? So what
Get
is
the
that?
opportunity to get rid of the cardboard, is it?
It's like some cardboard, but if Daniel has it,
Okay.
if Daniel has the
Not much
time.
cardboard.
So I don't
From all the landscaping I didn't do on my own house, but we'll do it different.
Do you put it down?
Right, so,
It's like instead of new area.
you just kill the grass.
It composts
Mhm.
and doesn't come up 2 years later.
So you have a lot, so you don't need any more, what you're saying? Go ahead.
Okay.
Hopefully.
I mean, 9, is it, and you think it's about an hour? Is that?
9:30.
9:30.
I've been very wrong before, but there's really not a lot to do.
Okay.
And sorry, are we going to Franklin or the other ones?
Just regular for now.
Okay.
Well, Rogers, I don't know if we'll ever. do
Rogers
it.
seems like, yeah,
And then
Can we take the
it
steps?
has, maybe Hurley will be in early spring. That's
no,
it.
that we said.
What?
Cool. Thank you. And then we'll keep everyone updated. We may do a little flyer walking around afterwards. Well, some of us are assembled, weather permitting. For discussion. Okay, great. Thanks very much. Governance did not meet. I will skip it. Design committee, working with Owen and Mike. We have a call in tomorrow to sort of regroup about LC2s. I don't have a ton of updates there that you guys already know. Do you want to discuss March at all?
Not much to discuss. I've come up with a design for a shirt and a tote. And it's on, thank you, it's on the bonfire, I'm working with the bonfire interface. So once that's finalized, I just have one more person to hear from. And then we'll go and try, I mean, basically you set up like a campaign, and so you'll launch the campaign, and we'll see. We're just discussing like price and final.
And when we're selling them?
Wherever we can.
Not online?
No, it's a direct to consumer, so we'll send a link on our website, and then we can discuss this, but at this point, we're not working with like holding stock, so we'll just order as needed, but not
Who's gonna
necessarily
do the
setting up
shipping?
a
So it goes
shingle.
right to
Yep, they do it
Yeah.
on to order, we just upload our.
Yeah, so basically it would be more like hosting campaigns on Instagram, like buy merch here or whatever, but not so much like having a table at an event selling shirts.
We don't have to ship them out.
You could even do like we could probably set like a QR code at an event, say like with examples of a shirt and a tote, and they can buy it that way.
And where's the money gonna come into?
That's a great question. It's with Bonfire, and they work with non-for-profits, so and I would be happy to.
Are they gonna ask us for our bank account, like, again?
We'll probably need.
Those are all
number.
things, like they did ask for our non-for-profit, with sales number and all
Yeah.
that. But I think that's something I'd be happy to look at more review when that comes, and like basically they just take a big cut of whatever the price is, and we go like $5.
That's the trade-off.
It just saves you from actually doing the work, right?
Yeah, and it's good, it's a good
Not fun
project.
Yeah, to manage all those orders and.
And
And
as
hold
soon as
this
we have-
side, and that'll all be in Mike's office, I'm guessing, boxes of t-shirts.
Which is also the second room.
Background's just gonna be full
I
of
drive by all
boxes.
the time.
And then I'll be moved to one of the outbuildings, because my wife can't stand it, so.
You know, like the boxes can say.
So we'll send the link when it's live, and then you can all look and see what you like.
And then the site redesign, I think I said probably last meeting, I think we're anticipating a November 6th launch for the website, right, something like that. I would say we're not too far off of that, as far as I'm aware, like, well, I think, let me rephrase it. It seems to me that at this point, it's sort of on us, the designer has basically done, she has gotten as far as she can get without us supplying content. But once she has it, it shouldn't be terribly complicated to put in, and still too easy, so.
Can I just get a clarification? Have we seen the actual site rather than static image?
So, wait, we're talking about that the other, so we.
She showed us.
Yeah,
Like
you
the
can interface,
digital
there were only three pages that were functioning now.
Okay.
But, because we had to populate all the other things.
Like
No,
even
she had
that was
created
like
it.
a weird beta version, but stuff
Yeah.
did like, then, change colors and cover on it and stuff.
Okay.
I don't think.
But it wasn't just that like PDF image that I think we forwarded around. Like she actually had a beta version of the site that like we just didn't have access to yet, that she was able to like click around and do stuff. Okay.
It's really good.
Okay.
It's really exciting.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah. So we get photos and like, so that's the whole thing. But maybe that's why we'll discuss at a meeting, then we can send out.
Yeah.
Does that help?
And set aside time. Split that up and maybe we can just make like one of those Google Drive folders to just upload all of the photos that we can share with her. I don't know. Or maybe Katie has a Dropbox. We can upload to it.
Yeah, I think she said Dropbox or WeTransfer worked nicely for them. I think. Trudy. Anything else on design? No, great. No members of the public, skipping it. Any new business? Then with that, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn?
Second. All in favor of adjournment?
What?
You're like, oh, we're not done.
Two hands, two hands.
Meeting adjourned, motion passes. Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody. Wonderful job.
See you, Rebecca. Thanks. Bye, Kyle.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Say Rebecca.
Staying on, Kyle. See you tomorrow.